guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in a room, hitting the light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the real of reality TV. You all know I just do not see it for Gizelle in any way, shape, or form. And it is really hard to give this woman grace, and no pun intended, with her daughter being named Grace. But to watch her antics, to continuously see her not take accountability, and know that she's going to be coming back next season pretty much because for whatever reason, she is Andy Cohen's fave, I believe, on this show, but definitely out of all of the housewives, one of the few that he really adores for whatever reason. She's just disgusting. And with the passing of her father, where they showed the clips of him, I really just don't understand why this woman is so evil. And honestly, my mind went back to, because it was very convenient how they showed the clips, I'm sure, to pay honor and respect to him, showing them around the African American Slave Museum or whatever that was. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful with that. But when I think of Gizelle's dad on this show, you know what I remember? I remember him being mic'd up, not realizing that what he was saying was going to be recorded. And thankfully, the producers were, I'm not even going to say messy, but they had enough foresight to know that this is not something that we should cut out, even if Andy views Gizelle as one of her faves. When he was talking about her delusion of giving her ex-husband Jamal another chance, and he was talking about how he was out here just slanging his thing all around the congregation in the cities that he's been, having babies and whatever, and he spoke to that. They left that out, and I get it. But just because her father passed away, which unfortunately it's not a good thing, especially when they go, which I guess he went kind of quickly. I don't know, because that's the thing. She doesn't share anything. What the heck are you doing on this show if you don't want to really share much about your personal life, but then you want to dig into others? This is what makes me despise her. She is who she is to the core. She was always like this. Nothing has changed about her. I can see that she was the same nasty spirited soul when she was the quote unquote first lady of the church that she says that she helped her ex-husband build and helped him to become a mega church pastor. She's just who she is, and that's it. So when they had the discussion about her father, and then Wendy was asked a question about what she said about Gizelle when her mother was in the hospital, I don't really think, I'm not going to say Andy didn't get the point, but he definitely was not holding her accountable. And I got what she was trying to say, but Gizelle is just one of these, oh my God, she's just so, she's so many things, but not being accountable is one of the big ones. And when Candace was asked about Gizelle being there for her during, what was it, season 5, when Monique beat her head into the table, Candace was right. Candace said the truth about Gizelle. She said, Gizelle, it wasn't so much that she was there for me as much as it was that she was having so much hatred for Monique. It was the lesser of two evils. She preferred Candace over Monique. And I don't want to get into the debate about, oh, well, now Candace is getting what Monique got. Listen, this isn't about that. This is about the fact that Gizelle just really could not stand Monique. It was out of jealousy. And Monique was wrong. She absolutely was wrong. But for Gizelle to say, oh, yeah, really? I was just there for you because I really didn't like Monique. So now you're changing the narrative. No, the narrative hasn't changed. Actually, Candace's point has been proven based on the last season when Mia threw a drink in Wendy's face and assaulted her in that way. Mia was wrong. Did Gizelle check in on Wendy to see how she's doing? Or Robin? No, they didn't. You know why? Because they don't like Wendy. And you know why they don't like Wendy? They don't like Wendy because Wendy called them on their crap when they were trying to make some things out of nothing based on some rumors on some blogs about her husband and trying to make her feel ashamed of doing things for herself. She is a mother of 3 and she did some things to refreshen her body and whatnot. And then they were trying to equate that to some rumors that were in the blogs about her husband. And so when Wendy called them on it and really just like burned a hole through them with what was said, which was the truth, she can't ever get over it. But if it was about standing up for what's right, then why didn't you check Mia and you check in on Wendy? So Candace's point was proven with that, where when she said, well, she really wasn't there for me. It was more so about her having disregard and dislike for Monique. So that was the absolute truth. The revisionist history is with Gizelle, even in this season, which wasn't very long ago from what was filmed and when it aired to the reunion. So I want to get into this portion of Gizelle talking about her dad and the question that was asked of Wendy about what she said about Gizelle when it came to her mom. So let's go ahead and get into that.
I just want to say first, before you ask me any question, that's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie, Wendy. I didn't know your mother was in the hospital. Nobody told me your mother was in the hospital. When did I make fun of your mother?
You said you talked to Jamal and you said my mother was evil.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about your mother in the hospital.
Because
it's a bold-faced lie.
What she's saying is that while her mother was in the hospital,
correct,
you called her evil.
Correct.
She's saying she did not know your mother was in the hospital?
At all.
That's fine, but that doesn't negate the fact that she called my mother evil while my mother was in the hospital. Like, if we're going to try to move forward in any way, let's respect each other's parents and let's not be snide in our comments.
Stop lying when it comes to what I said about your mother, because I did not know your mother was in the hospital. I stand by that.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear about your dad passing.
Thanks, Andy.
He really was an amazing man, and it was so cool getting to know him on the show.
Yeah.
Everyone loved watching your relationship with him through the years. Tell me about his celebration of life.
Oh, that was good. Robin was there.
There you go.
Do you want to talk about it? I want to say a couple things. So, as it relates to this show, everyone told me not to do it.
Yeah.
But my dad.
But your dad?
Yeah.
Really? And why did he tell you to do it?
Because he was like, you're amazing. And
he lied to her, but go ahead.
And he, loved being able to take us to New Orleans and do all that and just support me in any way possible.
The significance of this plantation today is that this is the only plantation museum in the United States that has been dedicated to the pain and the suffering of slavery. When the day was over, that's the way the slaves were called from the field, with a bell.
He always wanted to have a celebration of life. He never wanted like a funeral. He wanted a party. So I gave him his wish in New Orleans, and we had a big party, and it was amazing. He lived an amazing life. And I was there with him when he took his last breath. And I remember you were.
I know, with my mom.
Yep.
It's okay.
And he taught me so much. When they give out dads, I lucked up. I got like one of the best of the best, but it's been tough. The ones of you that rallied around me and made sure that I was okay and checked on me and all that. I, truly appreciate Karen. Karen was like, I want to come over and feed the kids. Invite me in. I just,
I'm just going to be honest. Gizelle's a human being, but she has very inhumane and unhumanistic ways about herself, because even Andy said earlier to her, you pretty much don't show emotions. You are a person. You're not a robot. But when you give off that type of exterior to people, especially to people who may not be in the best space with you, it makes it hard for them to try to tap in. Gizelle could not even take, even though people like to make fun of Candace is a very emotional person. And I don't believe that the tears that she was shedding at that moment was fake, because they were talking about a human moment. People are born, people die, people get sick, people go through hurt and pain. That's what life is. And that's what these freaking reality shows are supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about life, not this made up bullcrap about the fake, phony dating relationships and the stuff that she doesn't want to show on the show. It's just like Candace couldn't even shed a tear without her making a snide remark to say, oh, she always has to make everything about herself. What? How inhumane can you be to say something like that? I don't care if Candace is somebody that cries every 5 minutes. You're sitting there and you're speaking about your father passing away, how you were there with him when he took his last breath. And she's making a nasty remark about Candace in the same breaths as she's sitting there speaking about losing her father. I mean, even when Andy was asking her the questions about it and she started to talk, she laughed and said, well, Robin, you were there. Do you want to talk about it? It's just, to me, Gizelle just comes off as extremely inhumane, uncaring, and it makes it hard for me to care about her. I don't want to be one of those people that's like that, but her dad had a great life. He lived a long time. Sorry that he got sick and he's no longer here and she's no longer able to experience life with him. But he lied to her when he said that she is awesome and she needs to be on television. There's nothing about her absolutely whatsoever that is deserving of being on television. She's definitely not a star. She's not a celebrity. Like Nene said, she's a Bravo celebrity at best. And even that is saying a whole lot and giving her a whole lot of credit that she doesn't really deserve. But I just can't with her. When I was watching this on Peacock, I was just getting so pissed off, even more so. And she never takes accountability. And she and Robin with the colorism thing and it being uncomfortable. Wendy was absolutely right. Talking about colorism and even talking about racism, talking about things that are seen as controversial, it's always going to be uncomfortable. It's never going to be fun. But it's about acknowledging and respecting and doing your best to learn, be knowledgeable, and moving forward. When you completely avoid it and just say, oh, well, that's just uncomfortable, that's why we have a lot of the situations and scenarios that we do have. And I'm glad they played the clip back from the last reunion when Candace did say out of her mouth, I don't believe that anyone on the show is actually a colorist, but it doesn't mean that they do not benefit from colorism. And Gizelle was saying that's not true. She didn't say that. And they played the clip, But the point that Wendy was trying to make when she said what she said to Gizelle was that just like you didn't know my mother was in the hospital when you said that she's evil, I didn't know what you were going through with your dad, but I didn't say anything about your dad. What I said was about you. And Gizelle wouldn't take accountability for it. Wendy never said anything about her father, but Gizelle called her mother evil. It's just disgusting. I know they're going to bring this chick back next season. Waste of time, space, and money. I don't believe they just need to just like let her go and be in oblivion. And I know I've seen a lot of comments from people that are saying if she comes back next season, I'm not even going to watch the show. And I'm honestly in the same boat and category. I only watched passively, not, oh, it's coming on, I got to watch it. Watched it if I had time later on. So I'm just not here for this show like it used to be. I was interested at first, and the more I've seen of Gizelle over the years, the more I've gotten disgusted with this show. I'm glad that they gave Robin the axe. 100% deserved. But I'm just not here for Gizelle absolutely whatsoever. And I just wanted to talk about that. So guys, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for being here. Thanks for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and I'm going to say bye.